What's going on, everyone? I am your host, Samuel Richardson of the Affirmative Talk Show, and I definitely wanted to chime in and talk about this story dealing with Donovan Mitchell. Um, I put out a actually post on my YouTube community tab about this issue with Donovan Mitchell and how he had came out in the interview and said that it was draining for him playing um, with the Utah Jazz, playing in Utah. And it gave me a lot of cause to pause on the situation because he dealt with a lot of racism and he actually communicated that in the interview. But I want to just know, how some people, you have some yahoos out there just ignorant of the fact of the situation. So I put that out in my community tab and I'm going to read off on one. I don't know if they're probably a subscriber of mine or not a subscriber of mine, but they put out that they said LMAO, you wouldn't be saying mind your own business if people were mad that a white guy was talking about how it was or it was just too draining to play sports with black people. And I want to bring out on that comments of the ignorant statement because what people do, and he's probably mostly a white person, and usually when people respond, they have pictures. It's not a picture of themselves, so they have this picture of some crazy thing. It looked like it's a picture of. Let me see. It looked like it's just a picture of a car or something like that, or a turtle, mason sword. And I wanted to just to bring that out because I wanted to read this article by Complex on what Donovan Mitchell had meant, what he said. So Mitchell said it's been comforting to see more black fans in the stands during his time with the Cleveland Cavaliers. He went on to say that it's a little comforting for me 100%. I'm not going to lie about that, he explained. He went on to say that it's no secret that there's a lot of stuff that I dealt with being in Utah off the floor. He went on to say that if I'm being honest with you, I never really said this, but it was draining to me. It was just draining on my energy just because you can't sit in your room and cheer for me and then do all these different things. Now, you can only imagine what he's talking about when he's saying all these different things. But I will tell you is that even Karl Malone has even talked about it being in Utah and the racist things that he had dealt with. Bill Russell, when he was with the Boston Celtics, how he is one of the most winningest NBA players in NBA history with 11 championships. He was even a head coach a year or two, and he still faced a lot of racism being on the Boston Celtics with that organization and even with fans as well. He said, based off on the articles, that says that the Utah Jazz fan base has faced accusations of racism in the past. And while it doesn't think every Jazz fan is racist, it's been prevalent enough to leave a bad impression. He said, quote, Donovan Mitchell, I'm not saying specifically every fan, but I just feel like it was a lot of things. A Utah state senator, Stuart Adams, saying I need to get educated on my own black history. Now, look at the ignorance. Now, this is a Utah state senator, Stuart Adams, told Donovan Mitchell that he needs to get educated on his own black history. Seeing black kids getting bullied because of their skin color, Donovan Mitchell can continue saying, seeing a little girl, Isabella, hang herself because she's being bullied, man, it was just one thing after another. And I will say it's not the only place it happens. Now, one thing to note is that Donovan Mitchell had said in this interview that he first noticed the discrimination he faced as part of the team, whether it be direct or indirect, when he posted a photo on Juneteenth prior to the COVID-19 NBA bubble. He said that people just started nonstop going at me like, man, you don't know what you're talking about. There is injustice everywhere. It's not just black people, Donovan Mitchell said. He went on to say that I'm just like, y'all have no idea. I He went on to say that I took a lot. I don't know why this stuff is playing like this. Okay. Now, he went on to say that people just started going at him. And he said that I took on a lot because I felt like I could do it. But he said at some point, it became a lot to have to deal with. Now, this is what Donovan Mitchell said in the interview. He went on to say, despite some unsavory experiences with the Jazz, he added that he made sure to invite young black and brown kids to games to be around community. In comparison, Cleveland has been refreshing for Donovan Mitchell. Being in Cleveland now, you see us courtside, he said. It's a blessing to be back around people that look like me. That's a lot. That's a lot right there, man. That's a lot. And let me just keep it 100. Instead of this media, instead of Adam Silver, who is the commissioner of the NBA, when he wanted to put so much input into forcing Kyrie Irving to debunk an actual movie, an actual book about Negroes, Heroes to Negroes, that book earlier this year, and how he tried to force Kyrie Irving to apologize to Jews, to apologize to the NBA and the fans and to the Brooklyn Nets organization, and how the owners of the Brooklyn Nets had a whole list for Kyrie Irving to do, and how he had to get sensitivity training. But I find it very, very disrespectful is that the commissioner of the NBA is not talking about this racist fans, this racist things that's going on in Utah and what black players have to deal with. But as soon as they feel offended what a black player does to another ethnicity, whether it's Jew people, whether it's white people, everybody is up in the roar. The media is up in the roar. You have cancel culture. They want to cancel you on everything that black athlete has worked hard for. But this is starting to be a consistent thing, because Donovan Mitchell is not the only person that came out and talk about the racist things that he has to deal with on a consistent basis. And maybe it played a role in for Donovan Mitchell to say, man, I'm out. I'm not going to deal with this situation, even if it was 40%, even if it was 30%. No black NBA player or black professional athlete, period, should have to go through racist fans at all. And it's disrespectful, and it's something that needs to be addressed when it comes to the new bargaining agreement between the commissioner and the owners with the players. Now, because there are a lot of black players in the NBA, and I feel they definitely need to address the issue with Kyrie Irving, what happened to him. They definitely need to address what's happened to Donovan Mitchell. And there needs to be some type of policy of sensitivity training from dealing down from the organization to these fans, because at the end of the day, these fans should not be allowed to say anything that they feel that they are warranted just because they paid money for tickets. At the end of the day, these are still men. These are still human beings, and they have emotions just like everybody else. And they are not going to continue to be disrespected by racist fans. In this article, and I appreciate Donovan Mitchell for bringing this information out, because it needs to be brought out more. It needs to be brought out more. This type of information needs to be taught more. It needs to, instead of us trying to, they tried to take Kyrie out, whether him losing his job with the Brooklyn Nets, and then you had that owner that tried to make Kyrie Irving looks bad. But at the same token, nobody don't want to deal or have that same type of energy when black men are offended by racist fans, when black men are offended by a racist organization. Nobody want to have that same energy about how sensitivity training needs to happen. Let's have that same energy with that. So if you can, man, if you could actually support the channel called Affirmative Talk Show, it's on my YouTube channel. You can go ahead and smash that subscribe button. It'll be greatly appreciated. And definitely stay tuned to more videos that's coming your way. And do me a favor, make sure you always strive to be the best version of yourself, and always be safe out there, because people are crazy. Stay tuned to the next video.